kind of left
I understand.
you know.
I understand that.
When he's out there, you
yeah,
know.
out
I
there.
mean, what he's saying that, you know, and the thing about it is that not because you are a conservative or you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, because you say something that's the truth, people shouldn't believe you. They're saying that. Oh, forget about Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. You should go back and be a brain surgeon. You know, what he's saying doesn't make any sense. That what he said doesn't make any sense. No. Certain things he says make sense, and a lot of the other stuff may not make sense. But what he said on this one here made a lot of sense.
What did he say on this one?
You know, let me get that up.
You know, why are you getting that up? I mean, even though, you know, we could say Fox News' right-wing interpretation, they have more viewers, at least from yesterday, than CNN.
Oh, absolutely.
MSNBC, definitely more than CNBC, or headline news. In prime time, daytime, it doesn't matter. And I'm looking at their morning program, Fox and Friends, has 3 times as many as Morning Joe or Squawk Box. The 5 on Fox has more than the Situation Room, the Ed Show, or the Forensic Files, whatever else is going on. So how many people are getting that kind of message? And who's the head of Fox? Rupert Murdoch? And he's not even an American. It's amazing how they get to change the narrative. When I talk to people...
Is Rupert Murdoch head of Fox?
I believe so. The same person who runs the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what is his... You know... I don't know. It's America. What are you going to say?
So, let's listen
because
to that.
you know, look at the... When I ask people why do they watch Fox, a few who I've run into, who I work with,
what did they say?
Work with at Staten Island, because the people are good looking, you know, the women are hot.
That's
so
why
people always like listen to a news narrative that fits along into their ideology already. No one is really looking for anything that's somewhere in the middle. So if I want to hear something that I agree with, I'm going to change to a channel that's more agreeable to my taste. And that's the way all news is becoming, because you get Facebook. We're all on Facebook. And we have friends, and our friends generally think the way we do. And if they don't, and they're our friends and they're on Facebook, we'll just block his feed. I don't want to know what Billy Joe is thinking, okay? Because I won't like him later on. So you just get the information from people who think more like you, which serves to further, you know, reinforce the way you already think.
But I look at Fox too.
Well, I can't look at... I mean, I try.
I look at CNN. I look at MSNBC.
I don't.
I look at
I stopped
RNN.
watching all of those. I just stopped
because
watching it all.
I think for me, you know, I have to listen to what those people are saying. I have to listen to what they're saying, because, you know, if you don't, you're not getting a full-sided view of how the other people think. The people that they see America through rose-colored glasses.
And so, what's the value of you watching that?
Yeah, you should always know what your enemies are doing and what they're saying.
No, I don't agree with that.
I always believe that. Anyway, let's.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but go ahead. Let's hear what it is.
This is the one
with Charleston, South Carolina, reeling in the wake of a deadly shooting at a historic African-American church. Race, again, is in the national spotlight. The suspect, 21-year-old Dylan Roof, a white man, has been charged with 9 counts of murder. Kika Wright says race is still a major issue.
I think in South Carolina and across the nation, race is a big issue that we kind of still try to sweep under and pacify with giving different things, whether it be governmental assistance, to show that everything is okay and everything is fine.
On historic King Street inside George's Loan and Music Company, owner Alan Rovick has a different view.
It's peaceful here, and we take care of our matters. And you know, I'm looking at it as a white person, but I can't speak for a black person. But we've been dealing here in our store for generations, dealing with blacks and whites together, and we've never seen anything but, you know, kindness and just everybody respects each other.
The attack came in a year that has seen waves of protests across the U.S. over police killings of unarmed black men, sparking some of the largest race riots in decades. Now Charleston is another name added to the list of American cities where questions of race are no longer an issue of the past.
Well, here it is. Presidential contender Ben Carson urged Americans to face facts regarding the shooting at a historic black church in Charleston, South Carolina. It was motivated by racial hatred. The celebrated neurosurgeon and only African American in the 2016 race for the White House said it was best to diagnose the problem immediately rather than engage in interpretive dance so as not to offend some Americans. And that is what the Republican nominees, presidential candidates, are being accused of. Let's call this sickness what it is so we can get on with the healing. If there were a medical disease and all the doctors recognize the symptoms but refuse to make the diagnosis for fear of offending the patient, we could call it madness. But there are people who are claiming that they can lead this country who dare not call this tragedy an act of racism, a hate crime, for fear of offending a particular segment of the electorate. He wrote in a USA Today op-ed published Monday, referring to statement made by Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, his rival for the GOP presidential nomination in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. So what did Graham say? Graham said in a latest statement that there is no doubt the attack was racially motivated. Other Republicans had stayed clear of the issue of race in their comments immediately after the shooting. Carson called for a broader conversation about race with younger Americans so as not to perpetuate that this sickness in the next generation and the next. He also chided politicians who are often quick to try to score political points, look for scapegoats and easy answers for failing to lead on the matter. So there you have it. Telling it like it is. You know, he can never become president.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's going to help him get anywhere.
You know, yeah, he can never become president. He can forget about it. You know. So I mean, you can.
I mean, I don't know. We've got a country that's been dumbed down, and you know, we have a populace that actually likes watching this, and I'm glad I'm in a community where it's not that acceptable. Did you ever talk about the woman who views herself as a black person? What was your take on that?
Yeah. The former NAACP.
Yeah.
President.
What was your take on that?
What was my take on that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've never seen you take a breather there.
The thing about it is that she shouldn't lie. She lied about her color in order to become president of the NAACP. Because I think if she was a white woman, I don't think she would have been elected.
If she was apparently white.
Yeah, if she was apparently white, I don't think she would have been elected to be the president of that NAACP. But then again, it's in Washington, right? She was in Washington.
Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State. As my son, I actually did a show with my son. It was interesting.
I'm sure it was.
Very interesting. You know, he said, "Dad, what do you expect from Washington?"
Yeah.
You know,
There's,
so
very few black people there anyway.
Listen, she did a good job of concealing her identity.
How did she get her hair like? How did she get her hair to nap up?
She went to a tanning salon.
No, but how did she get her hair to nap up? How did she get her hair to be kinky?
You just go to the hairdresser. They can do your hair like that.
They can't. I like to know how she made. Ask that question.
She got braids. Did you see the?
Well,
the
the braids
picture?
or something. Yeah, but her twirls or her hair. I don't know how somebody who's not at least a little colored can do that. You can make a hair nappy if you want to. In Brazil, a lot of the black soccer players straighten their hair so they could seem to be white. Straightening your hair is I understand as a black woman. I don't understand how white people kink their hair up. That's the question.
Yeah, well, it's reverse osmosis. if you can do it one way, you surely can do it the other way. If you can go from nappy to straight, you can go from straight to nappy.
If that's the case, white people would have done that a long time ago.
No.
Yes, they would have.
I don't
because
think
they would
clamoring to do
appropriate
that.
something like that. So, at any rate, your feeling was it was no big deal, or
no? It was a big deal. It was a big deal, But,
I think the whole issue of race has been in the forefront of our face for the past 3 weeks, every day. And when they do that, I find that to be a distraction from something else. People have.
But a distraction from what?
That's the question. That is a question. What's the Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership thing doing? How many more jobs are leaving the country? How bad is climate change? How much are they killing us? What's in the food we're eating? For God's sakes, we know that there's a racial issue. We know that there is. We know that racism exists. But for that to be the story, the lead story every day.
But it's the media.
I know, and there's something going on with the media is hiding some information.
No, they're not hiding anything.
Okay.
They're not hiding anything. The media decides.
Yes, and so there's something that's going on that we are not getting information about. That's my point. There's something else going on. It's got to be. Of course there is. Of course there is.
But you have no information to say that.
Whatever it is, just like all the bad stuff, it will surface. I don't need that information. And, and I can find something else.
You're a conspiracy theorist as well?
Terrorist, yes, I am. It's not a conspiracy theorist. It's a reality, Anselm.
Reality
if you
of what?
have 5 networks, 5 major media conglomerates that own hundreds and hundreds of stations.
But they all share the information.
Wait a minute. Hundreds and hundreds of stations. And they determine what the message is of the day.
Yes.
Yes. So there's other messages that they are not letting you know. Well, there are millions and billions of people on this earth and hundreds and thousands of stories going on, right? But this is the message and they're going to keep looping it over and over again. See, this is why I'm not really that interested in the top 5, and I will watch other channels to get additional news. I can't keep watching that over and over again. I can hear that it's lightweight, it's unimportant. I can hear it in 5 minutes. It'll be looped over. If you listen to something else, some other channel, maybe there's something else that we're not knowing of. How many people are being droned right now by the president? So they're going to tell us that. I'd rather listen to Amy Goodman. I'd rather watch Al Jazeera. I'd rather watch Chinese television. I'd rather watch anything else. But these same channels that are giving everybody the same story over and over again.
But these other channels are reporting the real news. Fox and CNN is only broadcasting sensationalized news to appease their listeners or their viewers.
Which are many.
To appease their advertisers. So if I can get...
That's right. You're right. And it's all about the advertising
That's it.
dollars.
If I could get 5,000 balls of eyes, 5 million balls of eyes watching this, eventually I could get that person to buy it. In order for me to get this person to buy it, I got to sensationalize the news. I got to run it over and over and over. If I'm Fox, I got to say that, the situation that happened in Charleston is not really racism. It's an attack on the Christians. We don't know the last time a black person attacked a white church and killed white people, white Christians.
Well, according to, these people, that black people are always attacking white people.
But when is the last time anybody attacked a white church and killed white Christians?
No, I don't know.
So what it is that Fox and all these other outlets, they sit there in their room and they decide that, listen, this is what we are going to talk about. And this is the news that a lot of